Hi, I'm Katie Ferguson. I'm teaching Charity Country Swing. Charity is 15 years old. By now, the Kohlberg's moral development stages. She should be around stage 3 or um, she should, where morally right and legally right aren't always the same and mutual benefit is expected. Also, according to Erikson's physiological stages, Charity should be on the identity versus role or confusion of role. This just means that she's in the stage where she learns who she is as a person and what role she plays in society. And according to Piaget, Charity should be in the formal operational stage, which means she can more fully grasp abstract thoughts, and the ability to grasp sarcasm becomes more defined. For Charity, I'm going to be teaching country swing. I feel like one of the big generative topics that goes under this is communication. And the purpose of this lesson is to help Charity define or combine discipline, grace, and just the ability to move to rhythm to country swing dance. In the pre-assessment, I asked Charity questions about swing, specifically if she had done it before and if she could describe the basic step to me. Doing that, she showed the illusion of knowing what country swing was by describing the two-step, which is different from the country swing basic step, but it's the illusion of knowing or a misconception about what country swing is. So I'll be able to address that misconception and change that to her being able to identify the difference between country swing and the two-step. For my understanding goals, it's to describe the basic step of country swing and also to be able to compile a list or compile an actual dance. So, for example, be able to choreograph a dance for someone else or for herself if she ever wanted to. Performance goals for this lesson are to be able to complete the basic step and at least 4 other moves correctly in the space of one country swing song. So the concept order I have is the country swing was first, and then leading and following were my other 2. So the concept country swing, the defining characteristic or defining feature is the basic step. And this is a rock step, pivot step kind of thing. Correlational features of country swing are the filler moves, so like the belt loop, pretzel, tabletop, those kinds of things that can just be added and subtracted depending on who is doing country swing. Also, the music is a correlational feature because it can be done to country. It can also be done to pop. The second concept, leading, the leader begins everything, all of the moves, and they are the main communicator. That's the defining features. Correlational features are the gender. For example, my sister and I do country swing together when we don't have a male who knows how to do it. The moves are also correlational features for that because different leaders know different moves, so you have to be able to adapt with that and whether they're good or bad. So I've danced with good leaders and bad leaders, just depends. For following, the third concept, the follower listens. That's a good defining characteristic of a follower. Listens and goes after the leader. The correlational features are gender again, and if they're good and bad. So a positive instance of country swing is country swing. A negative instance for country swing is the country two-step, which we've gone over a little bit. There's also a triple step, and West Coast swing and line dancing are also negative instances that can help teach Charity what country swing is. And then for leading, a good positive instance would be my husband. He's a very good leader. And then a negative instance of what a leader might be, but isn't in this situation, is the prophet. Like, we're supposed to follow the prophet, but it's not what we're looking for as a leader in this instance. A good positive instance for a follower is me. I'm not the best follower, but I understand how following works. A negative instance of following would be baby chicks, how they follow their mother as soon as they're born, which isn't the right kind of following that we want to assimilate. So for misconceptions, an example of an overgeneralization is all swing dancing is country swing. An example of an undergeneralization is country swing is the only kind of swing dancing. So in order to teach country swing, for the multiple intelligences, for the logical or sequential, I'm planning on having Charity put together multiple moves into a certain order to create a dance. This will help facilitate anxiety and help it not to escalate into debilitating anxiety, because she'll already have that plan out. She'll be intrinsically motivated to complete it because she made the dance up herself, and I'm not going to provide extrinsic motivation because I'm not going to bring cookies or anything. She doesn't gain anything she doesn't gain any physical thing by completing this task. This will also help her self-efficacy to be high because she'll already know what she's planning on doing, what she has to do in order to complete this dance. For the verbal or linguistic aspect of the lesson, I'm planning on having Charity say each move while doing it or while putting it in the order to learn what they are called, and also have the student explain the basic step of country swing. That way I understand that she doesn't have any misconceptions or concerns with what the country swing is. For visual and spatial aspect, a lot of this happens when you're first learning country swing, but you'll accidentally run into your partner, and explaining how there needs to be a certain distance between them in order to dance correctly will be good to illustrate that. One point that I was thinking of doing is doing a move with my husband where he accidentally drops me or runs into me, so she can see how important being aware of your surroundings is. For the musical aspect, I'm planning on turning on different songs with different beats and rhythms and have Charity and her partner find the appropriate beat and rhythm to swing to the country swing. For naturalistic, I will have the student explain to me when the skills of country swing might be beneficial, for example, in college or at dances. This will help her socially as well as, it'll help her socially. This also will help connect the why behind learning, so accessing that simplified memory system and helping her take it from her sensory place and putting it into her working or short-term memory so that it can effectively go into her long-term memory. From her sensory register into her working and short-term memory, into her long-term memory. And this will help her understand in her scheme or her schema where country swing fits into her schema. Another aspect of helping it become naturalistic is to tell the story of how my husband and I met while learning more about country swing. For interpersonal, I'm going to have the student discuss with their partner what they can improve on, thus helping them with problem solving skills together. This also would be a good time to give the moral dilemma of Charity being at a dance and having a weird guy who's kind of been following her around, like some people do, and then coming up to her and asking her to dance, and then having her tell me what she would tell them and why. For the interpersonal, I will blindfold the student and have the lead do different moves. Thus, they'll be communicating with their non-verbally to see whether or not Charity can follow and do what the lead wants, thus helping reinforce that knowledge of what the lead is and what the follower is and how that works into the interpersonal connection with her partner. For Bloom's taxonomy, and what I'm going to do with that, for knowledge, I'm going to teach the basic step and then have the student perform the basic step and have her explain to me what the basic step is and see if she grasps that knowledge. I'll use information language while explaining the basic step to her. For understanding, I'll, like I said in the last, have the student put together a plan or order of dance steps, either verbally or on paper. I think I'm going to go towards more on paper or recorded so that we know exactly, we can test whether or not she's able to perform those steps. For application, that's the actual performing the plan of steps in the order presented. For analysis, I'm going to record Charity doing those steps that she had placed out, and after that, have Charity view the video and point out places that could be improved, thus analyzing the way that her physical state in that sense and being able to see where she could improve, thus helping her see where she can improve. And then after that, for synthesis, I'm going to actually have her complete the dance again, and using the points where she can improve to help her along the path. And then evaluation, after the second go, I'm going to record that as well and have her compare and contrast how the student has improved from the first time to the second time, thus helping her self-efficacy to grow and seeing the proximity of where she is with understanding how far she's come from the beginning. Other things I'll have her do in the lesson are visualize the steps actually happening, and when she does have a failure to retrieve, I'll be able to help her understand by re-showing her or helping her to grasp the concept or the step, but not so much where I inflict learned helplessness, like having her struggle to remember so that it is able to stick more into the long-term memory. For this lesson, I'm not going to have any mnemonic device. It doesn't really apply to my lesson. I can't think of any, at least. This lesson can help her self-concept because this will help her understand that she's not just a one-track person. She can do more than just one thing. It also can, I'm going to try and boost her self-esteem with being encouraging and helping her understand that she can do things. And um, when she does fail, I'll use the attribution theory and try to figure out where she's attributing her failure and how we can overcome that. With some of the aspects that I'm doing with the analysis and the synthesis and having her record and analyze how she's doing with the dance, that really helps self-regulate her so that she can understand how what she needs to do and be able to point out and work on that herself. It's one of my favorite things about dance is that you can do that. Hopefully this is in the zone of proximal development. She'll need help with learning some of the steps that I have planned to teach her, and she'll be able to learn well. I feel like this whole lesson is really direct instruction because I'm helping her learn. She's also able to, we're also able to do some cooperative learning where she's able to help herself learn. Hopefully her neuroplasticity will be able to do well and be able to connect things that I'm unable to actually see. This is also a lot of discovery learning as well, because she'll be able to discover what she thinks needs to happen and how she feels about that, adding the affective domain along with the cognitive domain. The affective domain we'll use by having her explain to me which move she likes best, connecting that good emotion, and which move she struggles with, connecting that other emotion of struggle to help her understand the affective domain. The cognitive domain is going to be helped by helping her understand and adding this new concept of country swing into her repertoire of things she can do at other dances. Another thing that I'll really be relying on is mirror neurons because I'm going to demonstrate the moves before I teach them to Charity with my husband, and that will help her mirror neurons fire because she'll be seeing what I'm doing, and that will help her think of how she can do it. The only time I'll be using control language is when something bad might be happening. So if someone falls, I'll be able to stop them and use that control language to stop them. I'm sure I'll use a lot of cueing in helping them remember what retrieve things. Hopefully it won't do that. I won't inflict learn helplessness. The room that we're doing it in is really important for the physical arrangement, that she feels like she can trust me and trust her partner. So we'll have padding on the floor just to make sure everyone's safe and no one's super upset. Another thing that will be happening in the lesson is at the beginning, I'll pre-assess using some warm-ups. I'll have her do some planks, I'll have her run around the room, just get her warmed up so that no interference of individual physical state where she has a headache or she's not warm enough. So we won't have that interference of being unable to learn because of her individual physical state. So yeah, that's my lesson plan for Charity. I'm super excited to teach her. Thanks.